Hello, I've just gone to the local shop and had a look at the headlines of the tabloid newspapers. And while the Mail is the one that has been plugging the story of Angela Rayner, and we learn today that there are 12 police officers investigating Angela Rayner. So it's very difficult to say this is simply one problem. There seem to be a range of problems. 12 officers. Either these 12 officers are incapable of doing a simple job, or there's a complexity there, which is interesting. But it's the Daily Mail, which back in 2017, I think 2018 or something, published a dossier of 40 members of Parliament who were 40 members of the Conservative government who were in one way or another involved in doings. And Matt Hancock is not among them. It's extraordinary, his absence. But it's also quite extraordinary, the number of people who are on that list. The point about this dossier is that Mark Menzies is already heavily featured from a scandal from 2014 involving Rogério dos Santos Pinto, who claimed the MP had offered him £250 for a 2-hour session after being given a tour of Parliament. And the Sunday Mirror was the one that ran that story. There's Stephen Crabb, who sent explicit photographs to a 19-year-old woman, apparently. Oh, well, he's admitted it, so it's not even apparent. It's presumably a fact. And he was one of the people running at one point for the Conservative Party leadership. And Mark Garnier, who had asked his assistant to buy vibrators. And there's an element of madness about it. Amber Rudd, who seems to have been linked with Kwasi Kwarteng in a way that I'm sure in fact, I thought only existed in the imagination of Liz Truss. And Kwasi Kwarteng clearly offered more than his economic package to members of Parliament. Steve it was a sort of free gift. Buy one, get one free. Steve Double, the St Austell MP, who had an affair with Sarah Blunt. And Mrs. Blunt was working alongside Steve Double's wife, Anne, in his constituency office in Newquay. It's Jake Berry, the person who is a sort of firebrand of the right, had a son, Milo, with his partner Anne Robinson, a former Tory aide. He said the pair are really happy. And Mr. Berry announced that he and his former wife of 7 years, Charlotte Alexa, had divorced amicably. But all of this had taken place on the parliamentary estate. Justin Tomlinson, Robert Halfon, and the list goes on and on and on. A lot of the names are blacked out because presumably there would be threats to the Daily Mail should they actually put the names. But no doubt they know all those names. No doubt those names have been popping up over the years since then. And this is the same newspaper which has been peddling the Angela Rayner story. So it offers a little bit more balance than perhaps one would expect. But nevertheless, it suggests a parliament encased, enmired in filth. It's the stuff of a carry-on film. And yet, the obsession is with Amber Rudd's finances. Now, you may say the bedroom is irrelevant. It is. But it tells you something about the character of these people who wield control in our society. They're not all blackguards by any means, not all scoundrels. But we can't pillory and point fingers at Matt Hancock, no matter how much we should like to, if he was only doing what everybody else was doing, if he was following the herd. Oh, let's follow the herd, get in the stationery cupboard and make things move. I've actually just been drawing a little picture of Matt Hancock in the stationery cupboard. I found that it was much harder to put him into a cupboard, much easier to put him into some drawers. But I suppose there again, there's some carry-on opportunity there, isn't there? Matt Hancock, ooh, let's squeeze into these drawers and see if we can find an HB pencil with a rubber on it. The drawers! The drawers! No, anyway, sorry about all that.